Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you are on planet Earth. So how's everyone going today? Good? Yeah? Good. So, a bit of information just got passed to me by Zyle out of Serbia, which I hadn't come across. And some of you may have already come across it, but I thought I would share it. So it's some pretty interesting information. Yeah, so this information is a little bit hard hitting and in your face, coming at you like a bomb. And so I'll get started on it. The fall of the banks in the whole world is imminent. Hard hit received the Buan family is the same, the Rothschild banking family. 5 days ago, the main bank in the United States that this family has and its headquarters in Washington, D.C. was surrounded. Total fence to the entire property, closed. 4 days ago, the German Federal Police entered the Deutsche Bank and it is closed. Yesterday, the same thing happened in banks of England. All are being inspected for money laundering. Almost all banks these days, he reiterated, almost all are being monitored, inspected by judicial police personnel. I know the certain is about to fall on this act. I know it is coming. The Black Swan event. This is the global economic crisis, and it's not about being prepared. It is real because of past bubble bursts. None of this was repaired by any government of the world. All the rulers, instead of helping the citizens, came to rescue the banks. The money diverted from the Rothschild family to their agents Soros and Rockefeller has ended up being discovered globally, and therefore the World Economic Reset of the Davos Forum at the beginning of the Bilderberg Group has just succumbed. A great operation to clarify the root of money in the last 75 years results in the manipulation of countries throughout corrupt political parties, all purchased by the Rothschild family. His entrepreneurial pension fund bishops Vanguard and BlackRock are in freefall. All CEOs of corporations under investigation, quasi-military legal for treason and felony and money laundering to foreign nations. The Black Swan event the Black Swan event is global and gives rise to the economic, financial, stock market and exchange crisis of the entire human history to date. In other words, they have everything to sentence all bank officials in life in prison where the CEOs of country corporations are. The pawns those puppet presidents fall. Probative evidence was found that Soros intervenes through his NGO Open Society in all the governments of the European Union. There is evidence and witness of infiltration of the Bilderberg Group and the Klaus World Economic Forum in 203 countries. The economic fall marks a world crisis, and this will be held back as long as possible with the national emergency law enacted a month ago. Black May and June, the Black Swan operation arrived. Walter Ciantino, president of Comusav. Right. Now, that is pretty much all the information I have today. It's also been a day for England for the Queen Elizabeth II for the Jubilee, in which she was not in attendance. I find that very suspicious and telling. So it could be like some sort of final goodbye, because I think we're edging closer to there being some sort of announcement, whether it's already in a pretense or after the fact that is not being spoken of, the passing away of Queen Elizabeth, which will obviously will be something that is a planned event within the media. Whether that is actually occurred already or not is questionable. Anyway, let's finish this off with a patriotic song out of the USA in relation, hopefully, to the white hat armed forces that may just make the big difference the world has been looking for. Here we go. Cavalry and horses started the armed forces. It's the Army and the Navy, the Air Force and Marines. The Space Forces here for the final frontier. Space, air, land and sea. Space, air, land and sea. Guarding our liberties. The Space Forces here for the final frontier. Space, air, land and sea. The Army and the Navy, the Air Force and Marines, our brave men and women serving overseas. The Space Forces here for the final frontier. Space, air, land and sea. Space, air, land and sea. Guarding our liberties. The Space Forces here for the final frontier. Space, air, land and sea. Hail to the Army. Hail to the Navy. The Army and the United States Marines. Space, air, land and sea. Go White Hats, go. The Army and the Navy, the Air Force and Marines, our brave men and women serving overseas. The Space Forces here for the final frontier. Space, air, land and sea. Space, air, land and sea. Guarding our liberties. The Space Forces here for the final frontier. Space, air, land and sea. Alright everyone, Nanu Nanu, live long and prosper, and I'll talk to you all soon, and I hope some good things start to happen soon, because there seems to be a lot of negative sort of focused activity going on in the world, whether it's a nuclear threat or the threat of not having enough food through global food shortages, and revisiting all that there. So anyway, Nanu Nanu, live long and prosper, and talk to you all soon. Bye for now.